Welcome to Anti-Burgers United. Today we have an AMA with Shinobiverse. So let's get started by having you guys, talk about yourself, introduce yourself, tell us about, your history, your background, your experience in the real world and crypto, so we get to know you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Ralph, start off.
Okay, so my name is Ralph. 21 years old. I've been doing crypto for over the past 5 years. Started in 2017, experienced the bull market, but also very bad the bad market. I started trading because I'm very huge, like a crypto enthusiast, but turned out crypto, trading is not something for me. So I've been running a business called Final Film, and what we do is basically amplifying DeFi marketing. So with marketing content, so we try to deliver like the message we would like to deliver to non-crypto users, but also understandable for crypto users. And it has been amazing until now, and it's just crazy. We have helped like multiple projects, like 100 plus, even projects hitting $1 billion market cap. So yeah, we're using that. At least I'm using that experience at Shinobiverse, and my position is CSO, so Chief Strategic Officer. So yeah, Peter, how about you?
Not to be confused with CSGO.
Exactly.
My name is Peter. I'm also 21 years old. I've had a similar story as Ralph. Started off in crypto like 4 or 5 years ago. Also started off with trading, which wasn't really for me. But I got the chance to get in touch with a lot of projects, a lot of nice people in the crypto space. So my interest was awakened there. So after that, I started implementing my business experience as a brand advisor there, and that's how I wound up at Final Film, and also afterwards with Shinobi. And I'm the CMO of the project, so I do all the marketing and strategic branding.
Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Stan. I am one of the founders of Warp, the game company behind Shinobiverse. We are currently developing the game for Shinobiverse. My experience of the game within crypto started around 2017. Like Ralph and Peter did by trading. Did my first investments there, and then got in touch with the business side of crypto, starting up projects, building projects, and that's where I put my development team together to build such projects. Like that, we came in contact with Shinobiverse, and now building the game and the blockchain
exactly
for them.
Yeah, our CEO and COO is they are currently not here. They're like, one is sick and one is extremely tired. He's been working like 24/7, for the past week. So he's it's better that he's taking some rest. So they're probably watching now, but
Yeah.
Hi guys. Yeah.
So this is not right. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead. We still going? I thought you were done.
No, I'm sorry. This is not the entire team, by the way. Luckily, we have the opportunity that everybody lives in the same province. So that's pretty great. We are sitting at the same office building, and we are currently with around 40 people. That is actually involved in Shinobiverse.
Yeah.
So you guys are all local, right? Where are you guys from?
We're from the Netherlands. We're from Groningen. It's a city in the upper north of the Netherlands.
Oh, sweet. Have you heard of BitRides?
I haven't.
No. You should go. If we send you their info, can you go find them and kick their ass?
Oh, they're here from around here, or?
Yeah, they're from the Netherlands too. They basically run the project due to health concerns.
Okay, we will pay them a visit.
Yeah, I can see context. So.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so how big is your actual entire team?
Really, yeah, the entire team, excluding the moderators, I think we are looking at 40 people.
Yeah.
So with moderators, we have a bunch of them. I think we go to 60.
Easily. Yeah, but the 40 people isn't like full time. I think there's like 15 or 20 people working full time on the project, and then we have all kinds of content creators, animators, which we use for bigger projects like the game trailers and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
All right, so that's a pretty large team. So and you guys are, well, I guess we could talk about this later because I want to actually kind of figure out how it's all funded and everything. So we could probably just talk about the actual project first, and then we'll get into that. So you want to do like the introduction, like the elevator pitch for the game, for the project, for your token, like all of that. Just give us like the scope of what you guys are all about.
Yeah, sure thing. Shinobiverse is a play-to-earn open-world metaverse game where you, as a shinobi, and shinobi is actually a translation of ninja, but then in Japanese. And you play as Nakamoto. That's basically his name. At first, you will be forced to play the tutorial mode to get used to the physics, gain a little bit more experience before jumping into the deep waters, getting killed instantly. So once you have finished like the story mode of the game, you can enter the multiplayer version of the game. You can battle others. You can run businesses. You can do a lot of things in the game itself. And the reason why we have like a play to earn is like spending your hours playing the game and get something in return. In this case, it will be Shino tokens, and of course you can swap to another stable coin and get your hours paid. But the difference with Shinobiverse is that you also could earn passively by creating businesses that other people or other players can play while you are not playing the game. So I think that's also pretty interesting about Shinobiverse. And yeah, basically everything what's possible in real life will be possible in the game itself, but we are extending the boundaries basically.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a pretty amazing. And like we as a team, we all shared like the same passion. We are huge crypto enthusiasts, and at the same time, we are huge gamers. Like our CEO has 40 years of gaming experience. Our CTO has also like 30, 40 years of game experience and also in the business side. So with all those experience combined, we will be able to create a game. It's not done yet, but for so far, we have been created a game that's already looking pretty incredible. And in comparison with with like other GameFi projects, they are good, but the graphics are horrible.
Yeah, they look so shitty.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we would like to prevent, because like we had an idea, we share a passion, and we have been doing a lot of research. Like, I mean, a lot. We have did a ton of research, and it came like all those good AAA titles like Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. They have all kind of similarities based on storyline, like side quests, all those kind of things, but also delivering AAA or at least console graphics. That we also would like to try to achieve as well. And I think that we are heading at the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the most play to earn projects have like a horrible name in the space because they promise a lot. They send out amazing game trailers, and then after that you just have like a Shiba jumping up and down for coins on an Android game. So we wanted to really deliver something and also deliver before we raised our funds. So a lot has been funded from a private sale and also from our own funds. To already start working on the trailer and the game, to show people, okay, we are already working and this is what we can achieve.
Exactly. And what the trailer is actually showing, it's not showing some random
I just dropped it in the chat, by the way. So if you want to see the trailer, go check it out in the chat.
Awesome. But the trailer doesn't contain just like a random animation video that a WizKid with a computer just created. It's actually the game footage itself.
Yeah.
That's how far we already are by creating the game. And I think in comparison with other projects is, okay, we promise things, but we show them as well. And like other projects, they say, okay, coming soon. We need funds first. You don't know where the money is going to. And that's at least what we try to prevent, to be as transparent as possible. That's why this video AMA as well. We don't have nothing to hide for. Completely Docs team as well. Great name in the space, so everybody together. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. Pretty proud of the team.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do our best. And
yeah. Ralph, maybe you can add in on how big the map even is, how many kilometers.
Yeah, the game is pretty huge. Actually, the game, it's divided in 4 different eras, right? Yeah. So you can go to multiple different eras, and it will be different time, not particularly time zones, but time how do you say it? Like times.
Period. Period.
Yeah. So you have the medieval time, you have hyper modern time, you have like the modern time, you have in between,
Semi-modern, yeah.
semi modern,
Yeah.
and every different era, every different time has their own advantages, but you can travel around. Like if you walk, you actually kind of are time traveling. And
Yeah, it's just like a totally different environment. So you will have different quests in the neon Tokyo hyper modern time, but in the medieval time you will have super large nature parts, beautiful mountains, and it just creates a nice contrast in the game. So everybody can choose their own time that they like to really evolve there.
Yeah.
And I also think it opens a lot of possibilities to keep the game interesting.
Yeah.
So you don't have like one time you're stuck in, okay, I don't like medieval, oh, I won't play the game. No, because we also have.
And that was exactly where I was talking about, because we did a lot of like research, like to all the other AAA titles. It turned out to be like, let's say Witcher 3 or The Witcher 1 or 2 or Grand Theft
Oh
Auto.
yeah, Witcher 3, man, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Nice.
It's a very great game, but that game just contains like, there is a base storyline, you know, but it also contains a lot of side quests, and that makes it like the playable hours, it will increase by a lot. And instead of just like one like storyline you have to follow strict by rule, that's something we would like to prevent, because it's decentralized, you know.
Yeah.
Like we like crypto, we like to make our own decisions,
Yeah.
and that's especially what we want to achieve in the game as well.
Yeah, and within the 4 different eras, of course, the type of businesses you can set up are completely different as well.
Yeah.
Because of course, in the medieval era, the type of businesses you could set up there are completely different than the ones you could set up in the hyper modern ones. So that means when you start off in the medieval era, you're getting a good businessman. It doesn't mean you're all set and done for the hyper modern, because the type of incomes are way different.
Exactly.
Everything will be more, for example, more expensive there. So you need to really scale up your business size to get it big in the hyper modern and just grow yourself as Shinobi.
Exactly, and that's the whole idea also behind an ecosystem, because we have been seeing like a ton of GameFi projects that at least try to deliver an ecosystem, but without users, but without any kind of fundamental innovation or all those kind of things. Is like, it's okay, it's an ecosystem, but it's not like an ecosystem.
It's not living.
It's not living, exactly, and that's what we would like to prevent. And I think our focus, all our noses are heading at the right direction, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to create something amazing. People just play all around the world. Try to be the best, like the kingpin of a clan, for example.
Yeah. Such a short elevator pitch.
We were heading a Burj Khalifa, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the way I see it, from what you described it's almost like a Grand Theft Auto in different eras, where it's
we learned
multiplayer.
Because in all those years that it has been out, they kept it relevant by keeping businesses in it, doing great updates, releasing new vehicles. And I think that's something that every game needs to have, like a solid fan base for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I would say like we used several titles as pure inspiration, like Grand Theft Auto, of course. CSGO as well, as goes for
the NFTs.
NFTs, exactly. And The Witcher, because of the amazing graphics, and it's just an amazing game, and I just love it.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be like the Witcher with the story, and or basically the gameplay is going to be like The Witcher, but the multiplayer is going to be like Grand Theft Auto, where you have businesses, and instead of using like in-game currency, this will be all tied to the token, right? So you earn, do missions, you earn, you have businesses, you own like certain businesses, and you earn the currency, and it actually be a real currency that's actually could be traded instead of just like Grand Theft Auto, money,
and also
that you can't really sell.
Exactly, and the biggest difference between all those titles and Shinobiverse is they are paid to play, like you have to pay the game. Our game will be free to play, and that's also increasing the players' like dramatically.
Yeah, you want volume, so you don't
And-
want a
yeah.
high barrier to get in.
You want a volume for your ecosystem that equals to more revenue. Investors are more happy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it goes, right?
Yeah. We will have
So can you-
two types of parties. Yeah, just you can just join in as an investor and join in as a player.
Yeah, of course, I think there will be people who will just join to run their business, sell their NFTs, and get out of the game. But
Exactly.
you need the players also.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's talk about like the history of what you guys have going so far, because I think you had a private sale or a seed round already, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did.
So can you tell us about like basically how long ago you started on this project and basically what all the what anything that happened, anything that you learned from any kind of problems that you had to deal with, and like any sales you had, like private sale, seed rounds, venture capital, anything like that, and like where you are at this point.
Yeah, we had several funding rounds, and I would like to come like directly address like the misconfusion of Kronos at this being addressed like a lot of places, but I will explain you. Like Shinobiverse has started like let's say 9 or 10 months ago. It started as an idea, then the team assembly, sharing the same passion, etc. And we made it reality. And we did a private sale. We did also an early bird round. And first we thought, okay, we want to be the first on Kronos as regarding to GameFi. And Kronos, the idea is pretty amazing. Like crypto.com, huge marketing. Kronos, low transaction fees, high TPS, all those kind of things. And but the problem with Kronos is, in theory, it sounds pretty nice, but in real life, like it doesn't work how it should.
Also, the audience wasn't as big as we thought.
Exactly. And that was one of the biggest reasons why we have decided to go for Binance Smart Chain instead. The audience is bigger. It's already pretty common. A lot of other software and Web3 applications already support it. Instead of Kronos, it's very new. You try to break. If we have chosen for Kronos, still like we have to break all the other different kind of barriers.
Yeah.
It's too of course it's possible, but if you want to reach regarding to your product, I think this is a way much healthier decision.
We have a lot more attention on the game now instead of just all the side stuff.
Yeah. And also our main focus is we want to make the game as accessible as possible. So regarding to user interface, user experience as well.
For investors also, it was a way
Exactly.
bigger barrier to invest on our own website with the Kronos.
Yeah, they were a
Exactly.
little bit scared as well to switch to a new network they didn't know.
Yeah.
Putting in large amounts, they didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the barrier was way too high, too complicated, basically to invest and to understand a little bit more. And in comparison with Binance Smart Chain, for an example, and we are using Polygon as well. That's going to be bridged with our Binance Smart Chain, like 1-on-1. So also 45 billion tokens in but then in circulation, and that will be the in-game ecosystem token.
Yeah, and this side note, this won't have any real liquidity, for example, on this chain. So it won't be able to trade the token on Polygon, for example, to a different token.
Yeah.
You only can bridge it to the Binance Smart Chain back.
All right. So I see from your white paper, you guys had, is it correct, 2 rounds so far? You had a private sale and early bird. Is that what it is?
Yeah, private sale and early bird. Yeah.
So so private sale was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one I see is 12. Price was 12. Raised 270. Unlock 30 days after listing. Over 9-month period. So they're not gonna get any tokens at all until 30 days, right?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a 30 days glyph with, of course, the vesting period, linear, claimable.
Okay, and then next guy's got the 25 cents, so it went from 12 to 25. I'm saying cents because it's
Mhm.
easier to talk
Yeah,
about it
we
instead of
understand what
talking
you.
about the 5 zeros in front of it, you know?
Exactly.
So, so
So
next one is 25 cents, and that one has that one raised roughly about double of the private
Mhm.
sale. 20. So I'm assuming it was probably around the same amount of tokens because double the price, double was raised, roughly
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
amount of tokens. 20% of tokens unlocked at listing. The remaining 80% will be distributed over a linear unlock over 3 months. So next one, do you have any more of these, or is the next one going to be pink sale and that's it? And then that's like the final.
Yeah, the Pinks is not the final. We're also going to have we are going to drop our own NFT collection with some extra utilities, of course, but it's also at the same time our NFT funding sale round. So, of course, the money that we collect with the NFT sale will be put back in the company to further out developing, marketing, spread the word out, and yeah, attracting new investors as well.
Okay, all right. So the NFTs, yeah, that's no, that's fine, that's good. But like, okay, let's talk about the token. So you had the 2 rounds. 20% will be pink sale. What is the soft cap for the fair launch?
It was 350 BNB.
I believe 300.
Oh,
yeah,
300.
Yeah.
Sorry.
correct. Yeah, so we 4x'd it.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, and
Okay,
there is no hard cap, so it's a limited race, and uh, how much more we raise, the more in percentage wise regard will goes to liquidity as well. So that's stabling the price, or the price action will not be as huge as like a very poor project with less liquidity and high market cap.
yeah. So what's the liquidity percentage?
As for now, I believe it was 56%.
Yeah, just above 50.
Yeah, as for now.
Okay, okay.
And
So you basically need to double your soft cap before you start before it all goes to the liquidity after that, right?
yeah, as for now on Pinkster, we have collected a little bit over 1,300.
Yeah.
BNB, yeah.
Yeah, BNB.
24 hours left right now.
Yeah, 24 hours left, and a little like I believe out of, because the numbers are continuously changing, but it was 56% will go to it goes for liquidity. Max owner receive is 550 BNB after we claim the pool, and the remaining will be claimable after 10 days or 1 week.
Yeah, I believe a week. Yeah.
Yeah, a week after Pinkster has closed.
Yeah. So you already reached the maximum owner receive. Can you actually post the pink sale link?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
really
sure,
good.
I will.
Okay, so because the thing with fair launches is the price is going to change, right?
Mhm.
So the more the contributions there are, the higher the price. So
Yeah.
I just want to go take a look at what the current price is versus like the private sale and early round and the early round.
Yeah, we have to collect a bunch more to break that even. We already talked about that with the core team and with our advisors. Maybe finding a compensation, sure do, if we don't hit regarding to our private sales and early bird rounds.
Okay, I found a pink sale on your guys' TG. So right now they're actually still under. So at the current raise value, the private sale and pre-sale is at a worse price than the fair launch. Okay, I see
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. So you get 6 million tokens for current
One
rate, right?
BNB.
One BNB, 6.4 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, divide by 330, I think. As for now, BNB price.
Yeah,
But these
let me
rounds
do
will
that.
be compensated. We will just check it out.
Okay, let me do that. 582 divided by 30. So that you get 19,000 tokens divided per dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 divided by 19,000. Okay, so I see the current price is. Oh, I hate when they do this.
Don't
No,
worry.
no, not you guys, not you guys. I'm talking about like the Excel. Okay, so there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 zeros,
Mm-hmm.
5, 1. So 4 zeros, 5, 1. That's the price. But the one that you're offering, It's only 3 zeros. Ah, I see the problem. So currently, pink sale guys are getting a lot better
Yeah,
offer,
they,
right?
they're
Yeah,
getting a better
You're
deal. Yeah,
getting a
that's
lot
what
more
we
tokens.
yeah,
yeah, and that's why we also decided to go for a compensation. But we have to talk about what kind of compensation we are going to give
yeah,
to the people that invested in early rounds, but at the end paid more, or the pre-sale is cheaper. Of course, that's what's happening right now. We are currently talking about it, and we are also dropping more information about that later. But thankfully, not a lot of people invested in private sale and early bird. It's very small people, so that's pretty great as well. So overall, let's say it doesn't harm the project whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't harm the project because usually, like when I have an AMA, it's the opposite. Like
Mhm.
it's like the pink sale guys are getting screwed, and the
Mhm.
pre-sale or private guys are having like 5x tokens, and that's when I have a problem with it. I'm like, man, they're gonna dump on the
yeah,
Yeah,
on the later investors. But if
this
you're
is how
getting actually, it's like
I
when you actually get in a better deal right now, it's almost like it's screwing over the early guys unless you have some kind of compensation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, when you start the fair launch, you set the initial price or the soft cap price. So couldn't
Mhm.
you guys have set that at a higher rate? That way you at least start off roughly close to what the private sale
Yeah,
guys got.
yeah, but I think if you do that and you may not reach it, you are throwing a lot away. Like also regarding to marketing and like DeFi projects do rely on marketing momentum, and that creates hype, creates motivation also regarding to the team. And I believe if there is like, let's say we only collect 500 BNB, there are a lot, like a ton of options still going on developing the game. It's going to be a little bit harder, and not specifically harder. You are taking more steps, but at the end, we have one goal, and that's to make a wonderful product. And I think, okay, if we've raised a lot in this round, it will make us, of course, easier.
yeah. But also, we did this on the advice of Shiano, who works at Pinksil. So they advised us on everything, and they advised us also to do the
Exactly. Yeah.
this soft cap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You know what? I was honestly what I was thinking. What would have been like the perfect number is something like where the price starts off about half, or like a
Mhm.
soft cap. It would be about half of what private sale got, but when you
Yeah.
double it,
Maybe
it would have
two
been
times
roughly
would be good.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so currently right now it would have been at a higher rate, but because I mean you kind of want normally you want the early guys to have an advantage, but
Hmm.
not too much to
Hmm.
where they're going to be dumping the charts or screwing over the later guys, the later investors. I think
Yeah.
that's the sweet spot normally is you want to give them a good incentive because first of all they're early on, they have their funds locked, they're taking more risks, because
Yeah.
depending on how long ago the private sale was done, and you want to keep those guys happy because they're the initial guys that believed in your project, they're the ones
Yeah.
who took the biggest risk. But you don't want to make them too happy, you don't want to be like 10x at launch
Yeah.
price.
But
Exactly.
I think one advantage is that we, because we all come from business and we also got the funds there, we all know these people from a private sale like personally. So we have some confidence that they won't dump immediately if they have like 2 extra money or something.
Exactly.
But you guys also have let me see, looking at the
Again,
distributions.
and I think we can all agree that everybody is still super early.
Mhm.
So, like, there are a lot of things coming in the future, and then everybody will forget. Okay, how many eggs I had? Like, it's like, of course, we cannot guarantee it's hypothetically, but based on our steps that we have taken so far about this, how serious we are,
And everything that's lined up.
exactly with regarding to a roadmap. I see a bright future ahead of us.
Yeah.
And so one other thing is kind of curious on your tokenomics.
Hmm.
It said the early bird is 0.5%, and the
Hmm.
private sale is 5%. So that's about a factor of 10 difference.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
but as we discussed, it seems like the tokens were the same, right? The amount of private sale versus round one early bird, you sold the same similar amount of tokens. because you raised 270 K in private sale
Mhm.
and 500,000 something in early bird, and early bird was about double the price of the tokens. So roughly, you raised per token a similar amount. But is that just is that something like just outdated on your tokenomics on your white paper? Because the percentages, what I'm trying to say, the percentages don't add up. Like the 0.5%
Yeah,
versus the 5%.
could be.
Yeah.
I think the percentages might be wrong. We changed it a couple of times, so we might have forgotten the percentages.
Yeah, and also the early bird rounds were like only a few people invested in, because what we have explained earlier, because it was back on Kronos chain wasn't working properly. People got like instantly sent back their own money. The transactions didn't come through. So yeah, that's why we have decided to go back on Binance Smart Chain, and now it's going pretty well. And like we have been taking a lot of steps in the past 2 weeks, because we have like built this entire not this entire project, but a lot of things happen in 2 weeks. Most of the not most of the case, but if most of the time, yeah, no need my
In most cases.
but that it could occur that we have forgotten something to change or didn't add it properly.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just what we talked about. I actually see for myself a couple different solutions that you guys could compensate like the early guys. Let's say the fair launch stops around here, maybe goes to 2,000 BNB, which is still not enough to break even. So let's say the private sale and early bird guys are still down, let's say 50%, 70% of their value at launch price. So what plans do you guys have to like reward them or compensate them for this? Because I mean, I could think of multiple ways. I just want to know what your opinion is first.
Of course, like, our opinion is, I think, also believe the opinion of the community itself, and based on that information, we can make a decision. I can say what we would like to prevent, and that's of course FUD. We try to be as transparent as possible, make everybody happy. That's also our main focus of the game, that everybody's be able to earn while playing the game. So everybody will earn, even investors, players, people that just are referring, like referral codes, all those kind of things. So it's actually a tough question.
Yeah, I think we also don't want to say much about it, because we don't really know how much we are going to raise.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do have to make a strategic decision on how to compensate them.
Yeah.
Because based on like one of our advisors, his advice, he says, okay, it also you could also like of your pink sale fundraising in the last hour, a lot of things could change. Like you can get 2,000 extra. Like that's the case, and hopefully we get that. Like hopefully we get around 4,500 BNB or 5,000 or somewhere in between, and there will not be any problem. Everybody is happy. Pre-sale is a little bit more expensive than the two early rounds, so everybody happy. We made our promises come through. So actually, that's our goal that we want to achieve as for now, but we cannot predict the future. And once the pink sale is closed, we are going immediately. It doesn't matter what the come out is, we come immediately together to make a proper decision. But we are already thinking about
and also we have the community to keep happy, and I think they're very happy that they got it cheaper for now. So I think there's not like a drastic problem there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And of course, the guys from the other rounds that have bought in have the opportunity to buy again. So it's not that they are excluded from this round.
Yeah, I'm just doing the math real quick. Yeah, it looks to me, see 0.0012. So it looks to me currently, this one is 0.05. So I'm just seeing the difference right now. Divided by this. Okay, so currently, it looks like, about half, 2.3 ratio. So currently the pre-sale is 2.3 times cheaper than the private sale. So you have to raise roughly about, double the BNBs to kind of break even, right? From 1,300 or so that you have now to about 23,000. That's probably around the break even point.
Yeah.
Which actually could happen. I mean, I'm not saying, yeah, that definitely could happen. So, and then after that point, the more you raise, the better of an advantage the private sale guys have, which is fine, I think, as long as it's not like 10x or something crazy like that. But they're vested anyways for 30 days. Yeah. So, okay, that's cool. So that's not too bad. It's not that big of an issue. For some reason, I seen all these zeros and I was like, maybe it's like 5 times cheaper. But if it's only double, yeah, it's definitely doable. Like you still got
you're
over
making
a day left. And another thing is, you could also, like the NFTs you guys have coming up. Let's say these guys are still, at a loss, or I mean, no one's preventing them from buying at fair launch also to get more tokens, almost like averaging down.
Getting them earlier to buy, for example.
Yeah.
Whitelist spots, maybe.
Whitelist spots.
Yeah. Not even whitelist. Maybe getting like, for an example, if it stays like the same thing, we can give NFTs like battle passes or like early beta passes that we are going to do with Wester as well.
Yeah. But that's not like a financial solution.
For sure.
Yeah, no. The financial solution would be NFTs. Like you guys have NFTs coming up. If you give them an incentive for the NFTs, like let's say cheaper NFTs. Let's say the mint price is like half a BNB, but you have like the whitelist where you have, how normally NFTs you have like whitelist, you mint like 2,000 for like cheaper, and then 8,000 is gonna be public, where it's like double or triple the price. So you can do something like that. You could give them like a cheaper mint price, or offer them certain NFTs that give you like benefits like zero taxes. We haven't even talked about taxes, so I don't even know if there's taxes here yet. But there's all kinds of things you could do. Or you also have all the other tokens locked up that you could also be used. I'm not saying that's the solution that needs to happen, but I see potential in the ways that this could work. Because you guys have a lot of other tokens, just like marketing, reserves, ecosystem, all those things. So yeah, I actually don't see much of a problem, to be honest. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. We also have a lot of utilities within the game where we can give them advantages in. So if there is a drastic problem here and we have a problem with
but I think advantages like in-game should be the last option, because it could be that they sell the account to like like an experienced gamer and he exploits it or something. So we wanted to keep it out of the game. We might make a solution with the NFTs, but I think there's a lot of possibilities. Also because we know them personally. So
yeah, we have a lot of options.
I agree. You don't want to make it like a pay to earn thing, or
exactly.
That's an advantage.
Correct.
It's not Clash of Clans though.
Yeah. So all right. So actually, I want to talk about that. So the game itself with the tokens. Can you tell us a little bit about the ecosystem, how it's going to work? And is there any advantages or holding tokens? Because you said it's free to play, right? Is there any advantages to holding like certain NFTs, any tokens to like what you could earn in the game? Or is it all going to be even across everyone? And I would say the advantage of tokens is because you could buy stuff. You could buy like the businesses maybe, instead of actually earning them in game by playing missions. You could actually just like buy the tokens and buy the business, right? Is that kind of how it's going to work?
Yeah, it's sort of like what would happen is, like, for an example, we drop an NFT collection, and that will be also in-game items, like let's say like skins or weapons or whatever. And for an example, we are going, like in the future, okay, we are going to create more. But if you have like from the past sale, you have like this item in your inventory. Oh, I want to craft another one. I combine two NFTs. They will send to a burn wallet, for an example. You get the other NFT minted for free. So the rarity of the other NFTs will become more rare. And that's also like the entire idea about an ecosystem, to have rarities. Like not everything is unlimited. We want to have like fixed numbers of certain items that only can decrease in volume than increase. Like there will be no, like, if you say, okay, only 10 of them exist, only 10 of them will exist forever, but you can send them to burn wallets and it's gone. So there are only 9, for example. So that increased the value as well.
So for an example, if we're talking about the businesses we have, you could, for an example, have a gang house, like a safe house for your clan, in which you can place a poker table. Let's say there are only 50 in this season. But you will also have the opportunity to attack other clans at the risk of losing your loot. But if you succeed the attack, you destroy their poker table. So now you can affect the whole economy by deciding to, with your whole gang, smash all the poker tables, and you will be the only one that's left to play with. So more people will join your poker table. So it will be interactive, and we will have some fun ways of.
Yeah, and some NFTs will contain royalties. Like, let's say if you wanna add like wanna make a business within a game, and you are a hairdresser, for an example, and you're also very good with computers. You can design your own hairdressers as skins that our character can wear. But you have to upload first the skin or haircut to our platform. We will talk with you, see if it fits throughout our requirements, and eventually, if we approve, it will be implemented in the game, and you get your own NFT collection basically from Shinobi. And in return, if you sell something throughout our marketplace, you get royalties. So that's also giving value to certain things. If a lot of people wear that kind of haircut, it's not worthless, but it's not rare anymore. It's common. But you can choose whatever you want. Make it rare, make it not rare. But it can only be rarer in the future. More rare in the future, I mean. And you can buy the NFT. Sorry?
Oh, when are the NFTs coming out, or like the first round of NFTs?
It's probably, what would say, one month, right?
Yeah, we think like 1 month, 1.5 months. Then we'll start like giving some sneak peeks, and then I think in like 2 months we will have it ready.
Yeah.
Okay, and before I move on to that, like I want to talk about finish talking about the tokenomics. So I see the distribution, right? We talked about a little bit about it earlier, about the early bird, private sale. Some of the numbers that might be outdated. Okay, so pink sale is 20%. That is currently, I think, matching what's on pink sale. Yeah, and some of the other things like the ecosystem, 15.5%. That's going to be like the rewards, right? That's going to be what people could earn. And then company reserve, that's like just kind of if you need for anything else, like certain,
Yeah,
there will be unexpected costs because it's a game. So
yeah, and also maybe we experience an even worse bear market and we want to survive, and that's company reserve is necessary to keep on continuing the entire process.
Yeah,
keep developing, spread the word, keep everybody happy with updates, and if of course there are a ton of projects without company reserve, they get liquidated by themselves, spending too much money in a bull market, for an example. So that's at least what we want to prevent.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to discuss. So you guys raised currently around almost $1 million, right? 562K plus 270K.
Yeah.
From private sale early bird round. And is this what's funding the game development, or can you tell us? Because I know you didn't raise this prior, right? You probably started working on the game before you had these rounds. So can you tell us a little bit about like how you got the funding, or how much out of pocket you put in to start the game development? Because if you have 40 person team, and you have like half of them are probably game developers, I'm assuming. So that's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. We have, because there are different companies or partners involved in this in the entire project, and some of the companies decided, okay, let's invest in hours than over in money. So in return, of course, and I don't know if I can say it.
Yeah.
Like private investors as well. It's not like they're getting tokens, but they are being paid back in different ways, like the revenue that we are going to take, and or profit, and we will pay them back in a linear way. That's how we basically, and of course we have spent a lot of like money from our own pocket.
Yeah,
that's just been crazy, like a ton.
Yeah. But we have made some nice deals also because we already have some business connections for a couple of years, and because we're all locally. We've made some nice deals, and we're able to start game development already.
Mhm.
Of course, it is in a smaller way because we don't have 3 million laying around for just the game development. But I think we booked some pretty nice results with the money we had.
Yeah, and what Peter was talking about our network relationships with and marketing, for a ton of projects, marketing is just like a bottleneck. It's very expensive. And
Yeah.
because we that's our work, we know where to get it cheap, and it saves us a ton of money.
Yeah, because also we've made like the content at Final Film for a lot of projects. Therefore, we also have like the connections for cheap marketing and using our funds in the most efficient way.
Yeah.
Oh, give me 1 second. Like, I'm trying to get whales in here at this AMA.
We have a second for that, no problem.
All right, so you guys spend out of pocket, right? And so the 700,000 or so, is any of that going to liquidity, or is that all going to development and marketing?
Development and marketing. As for now, what everything goes from to liquidity is from Pinksu.
Okay, all right.
Which is part of that, right? No. Okay.
And
Excuse me.
and you guys have a registered company already?
Yeah, we do.
We are located. The company is located in Hungary.
Okay, company, so it's all registered.
Mhm.
And I know earlier you said about revenue share or about like volume, and how does that going to be related to the token? Do you guys have like reflections, or are you going to have some kind of revenue share from earnings from the game or whatever that the holders will get?
Yeah, like just for the funds raised next to all the token funds, we have some agreement with them to pay them from our own, like how do I say, personal gain or something, like our part of the gain.
Yeah, let me explain. Of course, you can have funding with cryptocurrencies, but you have also funding rounds around it, and that doesn't affect any of the tokenomics, whatever. They will, like, let's say if someone is getting like $1 million, they give us $1 million, we can spend it, but that, like, in 2 years they want 1.2 million, for example.
Yeah.
We pay them back over the years the entire money, and that doesn't affect any with the tokens. So they don't get tokens; they get a percentage in return in
Yeah.
profit.
It's more personal risk, but
Yeah, and fiat.
And do you guys have any taxes?
Tokens.
yeah, we do have taxes. We have a 6% buy and sell tax, of which 2% goes to marketing, 2% towards game development,
Yeah.
and 2% towards
Recontribution.
So like reflections.
Yeah, reflection. By the way, we hear a small distortion. We have to turn on and off our panel. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
hello, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, our apologies for the minor inconvenience.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you guys have the taxes, right? The 6% tax, and then you also have a lot of tokens. The only like issue I see, and I guess it really depends on how the devs manage this, because it could be a good thing, or if it's managed poorly, it could be a bad thing. Is all the tokens reserved for an example for like game development 20%, marketing 12%, like all these. So are if devs just dump the chart, because they need to sell tokens for game development or for marketing, then it might kill the project, right? But if you do it in a strategic way, where you're just like, maybe selling here and there, like on the pumps where no one notices, then that would be fine, right? So you guys have any like plans? Because I mean that's a lot of tokens, right? Like if Ping sells 20% of the supply and then 20% of the supply for game development, like really the only way to use that 20% is you're gonna have to sell it, because to pay for game developers, they're not gonna buy bread, or they're not gonna buy groceries with the tokens. They're gonna have to cash it out somehow,
Yeah.
to BNB or and then BNB to USD or whatever they're from, what country they're from, like the current fiat. So like, do you have plans of how this will be managed? Because you also have the tax, right? So you have the marketing tax. So you could possibly just use that first, and if you need to, then you can sell some tokens, maybe like
like the company reserve, all the reservations. That's the last thing we want to touch first, because we first would like to use the money we have collected in the fundraisings, and then spend it wisely and in the most efficient way. And of course, we have took into account to make wise decisions regarding to make a sale, for an example. There are like multiple ways how to do it. You can do it automatically, but you can also do it manually. Or you can make an agreement or tell like people, okay, this is when it's going to happen, for an example, like last option. But we will do it strategic so it doesn't harm the chart.
We could also do like deals with investors who still want to hop in, that they will provide us with like fiat money, and they will get the token. So it won't like be dumped immediately by the game company or something.
Exactly.
By the way, mic check. Can you guys hear me? Is it clear or is it staticky?
Yeah, it is kind of robotic. Maybe you can try to leave and join again, and we can try to put our panel on and off again.
Yeah, let me come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Test. Is it better? So is it static or better now, Robert? I grow. Yeah, it might be like a software issue. Sometimes when you get like lag in Telegram or lag on your computer, maybe the memory is because the thing is Bitcoin charts is you leave it open overnight, and then like I wake up in the morning and it's like my memory is like 80% or 90%. Right now it's 97%. Let me go close out my Firefox.
Can you hear us clearly?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
We
great.
can hear
We
you
can hear you
clearly as well. So I think the issue is fixed.
Yeah, I think my Firefox is running 97% of my memory in the computer because now you leave it overnight, Bitcoin charts, and then like
the cache will be full as fuck.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's continue.
All right, yeah, cool. So yeah, as long as you guys have a plan for that and most of it's most of it vested or locked, right? That all the game development, the marketing tokens, because I see this 50% it's locked, 10% is unlocked, and the 10% is unlocked. That's the private sale and the early bird, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but there are some, what we have explained earlier, there are, because a lot of things have changed in over the past 2 weeks, arranging the ping, so etc. So there are a lot of things happened that we also had to change that as well. But thanks for, we will note it down. Someone is behind the camera is noting it down, writing it down, so we will change that immediately as well.
But our main goal is to keep the token healthy and also to keep the chart healthy. So yeah, that's our focus.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, about a project, it's not, a lot of times it's not even about the idea. It has more to do with the team and investors actually trusting the developers and the team over, even if they have the best idea, but they're like assholes and they're gonna, screw over the investors, then it's not gonna be good. Everyone's gonna sell and the chart is gonna die and no new people are gonna come in. But if you have like a really, I mean, even a meme, but you have a good team behind it, and they're always promoting, they're like being transparent, they're always there for the community, it could do really well. So it's
Yeah.
more about investing into the team and the technology behind it, or like what they're doing, especially if it's something new, something unique. That's a lot better than just like, oh, they have a cool utility, but the team's gonna probably rug anyways, kind of thing. So like we like to invest in the team overall. That's like the main focus, because I get that's where the trust comes from. Like you could have anyone could just make an idea, or you could copy someone else's idea. You could copy and paste a white paper, just change the graphics, change the the name of it, and doesn't mean you're actually going to deliver on it, right? It's one thing to promise and another thing to deliver. So the projects that are successful are the ones that deliver, are under promise, over deliver, right? So the big thing with you guys is going to be the game, right? So how far along is the game, and when is there going to be an alpha coming out soon, or beta? Like how far along is it until we get more? What do you have so far for it? What do you have to show for it? And like what's like the next steps?
Have you seen the game trailer? Is the first question.
Yeah,
I haven't. I've seen like the videos. I mean the pictures that you sent, but
yeah, I've seen the video in the chat. So everybody who hasn't checked it out yet, please go check it out.
Yeah. We are aiming for July, early September to drop our pre-alpha of the mini version of the game. It's like because the game map is tremendous. It's just like very large, and it's very hard, of course, and it requires a lot of time to develop and make something like that. That's why we have decided, okay, a portion of the game map will be playable as a pre-alpha game. Yeah. And we are about to launch, and it's our aim at least, July or at least before early September.
And also, we will release some beta keys. So our biggest fans and our biggest contributors, and also people from the Waster app, that's our partner, they will get some beta keys also, like earlier.
Yeah. And that's also like, maybe Peter could also explain a little bit more about Waster, but Waster is more like focusing on the long-term road, instead of going fully on investors. But players is also very important, of course.
Yeah. So the guys from Wester, there are some pretty big guys behind that. They have a lot of gaming experience. They've worked for EA, Ubisoft. One of them is the old marketing manager from Candy Crush. So lots of experience there. We've had the chance to team up with them and to release some like promotions in their app. So they have like the newer version of Discord, also integrated with pictures and a timeline and a battle pass. So on there, your game will have an own community page. On there, people can post like screenshots, videos, discussions about your game. And then throughout completing actions in their app, you are able to receive rewards. And for the first season, we are going to drop some stickers from Shinobi. So we already get some like word of mouth and also some promotion. And then afterwards, we're going to drop some NFTs and whitelist spots also throughout their battle pass. And they also have a mystery box for investors. And we will do some awesome things with that too, but we can't really talk about that.
All right, so what, if you would say like percentage-wise, what's the completion at right now? Like 30% done, 50% done?
Of the pre-alpha version of the game, I would say 30%.
Yeah.
30%, yeah.
Because also there's a lot of testing that needs to go before we can
release it. And how further we are in the process, the more bugs there will be. So that's also what we are doing. We are consistently re-evaluate and like giving ourselves feedback. And you guys also give us feedback. And that's also why we have decided to go for, because we are also crypto enthusiasts, of course, but we go for GameFi and DeFi. Because it's much easier to get in contact with the players of the future, get their feedback, use that feedback in team meetings, and make a conclusion out of it for the long term. And that's our main focus as well. And that's the nice thing. That's a nice option crypto is giving us.
All right, so I know we're in BSC space, right? This is crypto degen space. Everyone wants to like 2x, 3x, or they like FUD and sell. So the game is going to take a while. right? It's going to be months, and in BSC space, it's like an eternity, right? If the investors, or quote unquote investors, but they're really just gamblers, if they don't get their 2x by tomorrow, they're gonna be like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm selling. So since it's gonna take a while, right, to kind of realize all this idea of the game, about like this whole game is like a huge game. It kind of reminds me of Star Citizen in a way, right? These guys promise so much. Well, not you that you're doing this and it's not gonna happen, but I mean, like Star Citizen, they promised all this, is like over promised, and now it's been what, how many years? Like, I don't know, 6, 10, I don't know how many years, and they're still working on it, not even close to being done, because they promised like this huge and crazy game, and I think they raised over $100 million on it, and it's probably like halfway done. So my point is, investors, especially in this space, they're not really like investors. They just want, they don't have the patience, right? They want to like see something, or see results, or see something a month from now, 2 months from now. And the game, it's going to take a long time, right? So what kind of strategy do you have to keep the investors entertained, to keep them, in check, not basically to hold out and, hold and buy and, be the early guys, versus, the new shiny thing they're going to see coming along, some kind of meme token or whatever, where they're going to, I'm going to sell this and just make my 2x somewhere else instead of waiting for 6 months,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like issues in just mainly because of this space. It's not because of you in general. It's just like long-term projects tend to either not get the hype, or they don't get the traction until much later, when they actually are much closer to the use case being completed. So for example, let's say a project takes a year to do, so people are going to buy in pre-sale, but then like 3 months later, everyone's tired of waiting, people sell, it's going to go below pre-sale price, it's going to trade or very low, maybe like 50-70% below pre-sale for months and months and months, and then as soon as things start picking up again, because the developers are finalizing that, all the insiders start buying real cheap because they know the use case is coming out, and then of course it's going to move, it's going to go 100x, right? But a lot of times, if it's a long time period, then investors won't, at least the early investors won't be around. So my question is, what kind of plans do you guys have for, like, let's say for the next month, for the next 3 months, and like what catalysts do you have to keep investors investing or bringing new people in before the use case, before the game is actually released?
Yeah, we have just hired an amazing advisor. She has been working for multiple GameFi projects such as Binaman and Synverse, and her specialty is that the use case of the tokenomics will be useful after launch and after a while. So what we are going to do, we are going to do farming and staking, and that gives the stakers a huge advantage. The percentages are not yet being determined, but we are talking about it, and we are going to do it as well. And if you stake, for an example, you get whitelist spots. That could be possible for the NFT collections, but that's more like a strategy regarding to the tokenomics. But you have also a lot of things that you could do regarding with marketing. And like we want to show the investors every step that we are taking, especially of development side, because we can say coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. But if we are not showing, coming soon is just a word instead of actually like that.
Showing is not a
yeah, showing is just everybody could say it, and doing something not everybody could do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to achieve, and I think we have already showed what we have done so far. We are making our promises come true, and if, like, let's say if something happens that's very hard to make it through, we will put all our effort to achieve our goal. And also focusing on the gamers itself, the players eventually of the game, because that's the most important thing. Investors want to know, okay, how can I earn money on the long term, Like, okay, investors now, you can make like a couple bucks, that's everything is possible. But in the long term, if you invest right now, there's a high chance when we get all the players, people play it, like the economy is working equals more revenue.
There's also revenue to be made, like
Exactly.
outside of the trading and also in game.
Exactly, increase the value of the token itself.
Yeah.
So in the long term, is definitely going to be a huge advantage for the people that are already invested as for now. But of course, it's their money. It's decentralized. They can decide whatever they want.
Yeah.
And if I can come back to the question a little bit, we are going to build the game and are building the game in a minimal valuable product way. So what we're doing is we're first building, for example, a little skateboard that can be used just by playing, and then later on scaling to something that is, for example, a bicycle, and then going to something that is a car, and then going to something that is the rocket we are aiming at. And in this way, we are not starting the development of the rocket. Of course, we're heading to that direction, but we are not only delivering when it is a rocket. We are delivering the skateboard in first, and then just scaling it and delivering a useful product in the first stage as well. Going to the other stages where we're heading.
Yeah, so just keep achieving like the small goals and keeping our community updated about that. Also, still working on partnerships to keep it alive
and having it playable at several stages.
Yeah, and I also think our NFT collection is going to be another big attention drawer in the meantime. Before we launch the game, because it also gives some insight to the game. It already gives people something they're going to use later on in the game, so they're looking forward to that.
The first goal is heading towards something like to that, like the spot in the entire process that's generating, like the product is generating a certain revenue, better for investors, because like most likely the value of the token will increase. Work from there on. So it's like an engine you want to make, put fuel in, and just keep rolling, and then make the car out of it.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, so I have one more question, guys, but I always say this, and I usually end up having more after anyway. So my question is, we had a lot of games come in here, or not just in general overall, like you said, some of them are like shit, just some guy jumping around, and like something you can make on a freaking iPad game maker in like 5 minutes, So my question, and we also seen games with like footage and stuff, and I never really bought it. I was like bought the story. Like, for example, there was one called Survive. I'm not even sure what happened with it, but they wanted to raise like 5,000 BNB. I think they did, but it looked to me like just like free footage from Unreal Engine or whatever, and like something that anyone could do. Like, there was no proof of an actual game made yet at the time. And then we actually had another project that we actually got convinced that it was a good game. So this was actually our second rug on this channel, to where we thought it was a good project and it ended up being a rug. And after doing over 100 AMAs, investing in hundreds of projects, that's a pretty good win ratio, I would say. So only two projects in this whole in our whole history that we either got rugged on because of some of our guys invested in, or we said it was a good project, or but of course we had a lot more scams in here that we didn't say were good, right? We said there's scams right away, but like the ones that we were convinced was actually decent. It was actually 2 so far out of like hundreds that we basically got scammed on. And one of those was a game that also said, oh, we have this game. They really knew what to say. They're like, yeah, like all these other games suck, and we have this game. It's kind of going to be like Diablo or whatever, where you just action adventure. You have these NFTs. So it looked okay, but it turned out that they didn't even have a game. It was just like some fake images, fake videos from some other game or some Fiverr game, or someone just made some quick like videos or trailers that never actually had a full game. So I think in this space, it's very important to actually have, if you're saying you have a game, or if you have a hand produced by hand, not using like free assets that anyone could do, Unreal Engine or Unity Engine, because anyone could go in there and make a game, just using the assets that already exist in the world, and say they have a game and collect money for it. So do you guys? So the game that you have currently working right now, is it really like handmade so far, or are you still?
Yeah, we also shared in the group the sketches that we have created from our character. like step by step. And of course, we did a lot of marketing research, what we like. So we've been talking with the designer that had designed like Nakamoto, like the main character of the game. And of course, like we are not going to reinvent the wheel. So if we have to use a tree, we can use someone else's and adjust it a little
But
bit.
it's always bought, by the way. We never use the free elements.
Exactly, exactly. So of course, a rock, that's not what you're going to redesign, but the main
No.
focus of the game, everything has been handmade, and we can show that's basically the work what we do here at Final Film. We are realizing also other NFT collections. So yeah, everything what you see and can expect from us has been custom made, at least 95%.
Yeah, because we work on a budget, of course, the non-important stuff we can buy, but you want to give a unique feeling to the game. So of course you're gonna need some custom created pieces, otherwise it's gonna look like base.
Yeah, and it like also compatibility. Like if you buy everything or use from the internet, everybody has every artist has a different style, you know,
Yeah,
a different way of making it, and especially a game at this size.
it looks so glued together if you just
Exactly,
buy,
and also it doesn't work technically
no.
with each other, and that's what we want to prevent. And of course, like it's our passion. It's we started sitting actually at this table talking about, okay, we want to make a game. We are true gamers, and like Asian aesthetic. That's what that spoke to us basically. And yeah, we've been writing the game story, and this is what we have created so far. And I think, yeah, I'm pretty proud of the team what we have been creating so far, even on a tight budget. But
Yeah,
still,
there's still a lot to be created. We don't want to act like we have like 90% of the game ready.
mhm.
But yeah, I think it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Everybody's working hard. We've already had something to show, which is not like ripped off from some kind of YouTube video. So yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, there's a, by the way, complete office at the back of the camera. We can just turn around with the camera though, if you want. But
Yeah.
there are multiple offices in here in the building, working on Shinobiverse.
Okay, and you guys have like you said the company registration. I could look that up, and it's going to be your address, right? Or you have your office where you're at
Yeah,
currently,
yeah.
and you have the public address for all that.
Yeah, we have like the office in Groningen, and the company is registered in Bulgaria. So the addresses won't
Hungary.
be Hungary. Sorry, I keep on switching that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
perfect.
text purposes.
But
Yeah.
you did say that a lot of the elements are like free elements or already made, pre-made elements.
No,
from
like
the-
just like the generic elements like trees, rocks, and that kind of stuff. We bought, so not free elements because everybody can use that, but we spend a little budget on that
Mhm.
because it was
Okay.
just the smartest thing to do. And of course, if we have a bigger budget, we're gonna look into recreating those.
Mhm.
But as long as it doesn't have an effect on the uniqueness of the game, I think it's the smartest move to do.
Yeah, maybe we could show the drawings. Maybe heb je die zo bij dat?
Yeah, maybe I could look them up.
Yeah, we have some amazing drawings of the Shinobiverse. Oh, we have actually a video on our Instagram. Let me show you of how we created everything.
Nee, die is niet gepost volgens mij.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, because basically like from the video that you showed, we had a
Mhm.
couple guys. They recognized like that map or whatever it was from like some other project or from some other game or something. So I think he posted it in the chat, right? So you guys bought that map or whatever that was for that part because you said
think
you were
it's
working on a
huge,
huge map. So that part was
Mhm.
bought, right? The map, the general part, I know you're kind of just tweaking it, but the full map of what you're using for the game, like at least part of it, it's been bought from or it's pre-made from the.
Yeah, at least for what we want to show in the game trailer, some parts are bought. Yes.
Yeah, that's the nature part, but that's only one era, so we still need to split it up and create the other parts.
Okay. All right, so I think for now I'm done with my questions, and we could open up to the community. I'm sure there's going to be questions from the community here. We did cover a lot. we didn't cover everything. There's still plenty of things to discuss. So if anyone has any questions, guys, you could go ask them right now. And also, I want to say again, for everyone that's new here today, we'll be doing a Twitter giveaway at the end of the AMA and also the AMA giveaway. And you have to fill out the form to do this. So we'll post the forms again in the chat. There's 2 forms, one for Twitter, basically to link your account to Twitter, your Telegram account, Twitter account, and also the AMA form. So you get registered to get points for this AMA. And if you have points, that's how you win the giveaway. The more points you have, the higher chance you have of winning the giveaway. But you have to fill out the form to be added into the drawing. So let me go post the forms for you guys. And meanwhile, I start asking questions. Let's go. I know Egro, I don't know how it says. He asked some questions. I think we might have had some previous questions in chat. So yeah, Egro, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, guys. So
Hello.
one of the first questions I had, because on Twitter, on some of the posts, I seen somebody like shilling your project, and there was mentioning that this is like Unity / Unreal Engine game. So actually, which engine you are using to create this game?
So for the map itself, we're going to use Unreal Engine, and then we're going to load that in Unity to have the just to develop the game itself. Why? Because the Unreal Engine itself has better quality in terms of their models / lighting, and we are going to use the Unity for the development because we can integrate, and that's what we are going to do, all the blockchain development, etc. Into it, because we want to have everything within the game and not have an external dev, for example, on the website to have everything set up. We want to have everything be usable within the game. And that's possible with Unreal.
Yeah, okay. So basically, only the map will be created on Unreal.
Correct.
Okay. One of the other questions which I had is about your communities. So where is your community most active? Let's say like this. Where is it most based on? On which social platform or Discord or what?
I believe that the Telegram is the most active. We also have the most members on there, and we first share the news there. We've also gained a little more attention on Twitter. But okay, they're working on the cameras. Okay, it will be fixed. Sorry, you might not see me at the moment, but the Twitter has been gaining more attention. But yeah, it's harder to get more likes and retweets on that. But the Telegram is the most active. Also, I think the French and German ones are also very active, but they're just smaller. But people already know each other there. They've become friends, so it's going pretty well there also.
Okay, and yeah, I seen your Twitter. So talking about Twitter, how organic is that? Because if you look into the numbers, it's a bit off. You have like 80,000 followers. And if you scroll down through all your tweets, so it's between like 20 to 100 likes.
Yeah.
Did you say 80,000 or 18?
18.
18.
Okay.
18.
Otherwise, you had the wrong Twitter. But
there was a gap between our first pre-sale round, on the Kronos chain and the pink sale version. So yeah, of course there will be a little bit more less activity on those. And it's pretty organic. We have been growing the past couple of days pretty much because of Travelet, Golem. We have 2-3 AMAs every day, literally every day. And yeah, we have been growing pretty fast. And of course, we cannot guarantee there are some few bots, but at least that's not from our side.
Yeah, we haven't bought them, but we've noticed, and that's why we also stopped doing that, is by doing airdrops. You get a lot of small followers which aren't really active. So it helped us with pumping up the number of followers, but they haven't been that active. So that's why we also stopped doing airdrops and that kind of stuff, because you just get fresh accounts of people who want to airdrop and they follow, but they're not active.
Exactly.
So it isn't like both, but yeah, they're not super active. But we've gained some more organic active followers, and that's why our numbers have been going up. So
Yeah, okay. And I think the last question from me, I heard before in the EMA that you had collected around, your market cap is around like 500,000, something like this. So I wanted to ask, how many holders do you have for that?
At from this moment, there are on Pink Sale, I think a little bit below 1,100 holders. So I think in total we are looking at 1,200 holders as well, because of the other rounds included.
yeah, might be some more.
Yeah, but somewhere between 1,200, 1,300 holders as for now, and the market cap is changing because of the fair launch, and I think it's right now at 900K initial market cap.
Okay. Okay, so
By the way,
even though if we
the
would look
initial
like,
market cap is only probably based on circulating supply, not on the full supply.
Oh no, full supply will be a little bit more,
A lot more.
a lot more. Exactly. I think 8 times more.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I think he had another question.
Oh yeah, another question. Sorry.
no. I think that was it for me because yeah, you basically answered all the questions. So basically, you have around 1,200 holders. So and one more question. You was telling that the biggest platform of the community is Telegram. So how
Yeah.
many members do you have there?
I believe 35,000
yeah.
at the moment.
At this moment, 35,000, and we have on average, let's say 1,000 messages an hour.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So
But
basically, you
also
have like 1,000 holders, more than 1,000. So yeah, it should be active.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the answers. Real
Thank
great
you for
Q&A.
asking.
Yeah.
Real nice.
All right, we had
Thank
a
you.
question from Adam. He posted it in a chat. The question, it looks like Unreal Engine and how we basically saying something. It's both starting with Unity. Hold on. Don't say you do Unreal then Unity, because I'm not sure if you guys said something because I might have missed it about because I see that the assets were from Unreal,
Unreal,
but is she planning to go to Unity?
Yeah. In terms of we're going to import the game map and every asset into the Unity game engine, and then we have already imported, but we are doing the development within the Unity game engine.
Okay, so his question is, how will you create web client, WebGL plus Web3?
No, the game will, you have to download the game. It's going to be connected on, of course, on our ecosystem. The reason why, because it's fairly big. And I hear you already thinking, okay, do I need to have like a strong graphics card? At first, yes, but we are talking with streaming services because it's free to play, and our goal is that everybody is having a piece of the cake. So also in third world countries, like they have less money than we have here in Europe and in North of America. So what we are doing basically is that everybody with just a stable internet connection and just a regular laptop will be able to play the game. So that's why we are increasing the volume of the players, and at the same time, hopefully increasing, giving them the option to earn as well, and maybe quit their job and playing the Shinobiverse game.
Yeah. So that's an option that we're looking at right now, to like stream the game, so you don't need to have a strong graphics card. But
Exactly.
we still need to see how it goes.
Still a little bit early also to say, but that's our vision at least.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, I one more popped in my head. Again, a question about the Unreal and Unity, because we also kind of are developing a game, and we had some files from Unity, and we had to redo them that they would properly work on Unity. So just interested, how are you implementing Unity map into Unreal map into Unity?
Yeah, that I think. Did you custom made the map? Because I believe, but I'm not quite sure though. If you make it custom and you already are within some requirements Unity has, it's easier to do that than, let's say, buying an entire map, make it all complicated and polygons, etc. All those kind of things, and import in Unity.
It was made. Okay, so basically how it was for us. So it
Mhm.
was like made a metaverse scene on Unity, like a bar, you know. It
Mhm.
was made like from scratch, from zero. And we
Okay,
was
yeah.
given those files to implement in our game, but our game is made on Unity, and we had to redo that. We
Mm.
couldn't just like put in the files and have it on Unity running straight away.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
We
the
don't have
question is how you are
to have that
doing that.
problem. We don't seem to have that problem. So I've have to ask one of my developers on how we're doing that. If you would like, I can
Yeah, let's see what was
ping them
asking
a
this
message
question.
right now.
Oh,
So
yeah. Even though like for the future that would be nice for me because
Yeah, for sure.
uh,
If you can
yeah,
ping
yeah.
me send me a message. I will send my Telegram in the group real quick. I can send you the answer to that
Okay, thank you very much.
for sure.
Okay, so I want to clear something up because Adam was saying I remember you guys were saying that the game's going to be installed, right? So it's
Yeah.
just like any AAA title, it's not going to be a web
No.
based game. But did you mention something about streaming? Can you explain that? What you mean by the streaming?
Yeah, streaming. Same thing goes for like NVIDIA streaming or let's say Steam Link. I believe it's called Steam Link. But you can like if a very strong console or a server with strong graphics card is hosting the game, and you get a partial of the power, and they will just stream it towards your screen throughout the internet. Every key you press on your keyboard, let's say at home, will be sent to the server, and the server is doing the actual thing, and it will be transferred back. So if you have a very like stable internet connection, you can like play the game without having like that much lag. Of course, there will be some sort of latency. Of course, in comparison with a standard graphics card in your game computer. But yeah, it's an option that we are trying to give to our players as well, that we reach an even larger audience and the people that we would like to target, and that just gamers, and it doesn't deter. This like gamers in general. There are a lot of gamers, but a lot of gamers don't have the option to buy a game PC. That's what we want to break, actually.
All right. So Adam was saying something about streaming, that if you do the streaming, it's going to be very expensive, 1 to 2 million per year
Mm-hmm.
in costs, depending if you go with Azure or AWS. So did you know about these costs, or like what are you planning to do to mitigate
For the
this?
servers, you mean?
Yeah.
So the streaming servers are not connected to the game servers, right? It's a two
And
different things.
I think that you can-
AWS servers are Amazon servers. We are going to run the game on such servers indeed, but the integrated partners for streaming is just a different part.
Yeah, but
we're still talking with them. They explain it to us as an option, and we're still exploring it. We haven't even talked costs, so we will see how that goes.
yeah.
Yeah, because like from what I understand, right, you could download the game if you have a decent computer, but if you're
Yeah,
like
yeah. Then it will just run.
in another country, and I would feel like a lot of people that play to earn games are from third world countries, because
Mm.
it's a lot of money for them, earning $10 a day, right? But if I'm like playing in the US, $10 is nothing, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of these play to earn game players will be from second, third world countries, and they might not be able to afford a PC or a computer or even a cell phone that could play some of these games. So you plan to do the streaming, right? So you could just go like NVIDIA or through Steam. So he's saying that that's actually very expensive to have the service. It's like million, 2 million per year for the bandwidth, for the servers, for the costs
Hello guys.
associated with it.
Hello guys.
Hello.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if is there a limit to amount of token you can earn in the game?
Amount of tokens we can add in the game?
Earn.
Oh, earn.
Is,
No, there is no limit.
okay, you can earn as much as you can.
Yeah.
So you can be
Like
shit rich.
for an example, no, like there will be a fixed supply, of course, but if you kill someone else, like a lot of people, if you are a mass murderer in the game, you can have like a lot, or you are just a very great entrepreneur, running your own business in the game and generating passive income.
Okay, so
Thank
there's
you
another
very much.
question. I see that some of the devs here still are not about the question about how it's going to connect to the crypto, because in the game, right, you're going to earn tokens. You could use those
Mhm.
tokens in the game. So they're asking is, how will this connection be made with the the Web3, the WebGL with the client? How will all this be in the game? How will this be all connected?
Yeah, if you have a severe moment, I can, because we're next to my development studio, get one of my developers
Yeah,
here
sure.
real quick to elaborate on that. Maybe is that a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Go pull one of the out of the.
I will.
Okay, some other questions.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
Anyone else, guys? Any more questions? Because we have a couple devs in here, so I think that's why they're asking these questions. Anyone else? Any more questions? Oh yeah, you said Pink Cell is ending in about 24 hours, and you said you're gonna have the NFTs.
Yes.
When is it? When are the NFTs coming out? In like about a month or so?
about
Yeah.
2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, so in 1 month we will start with teasing and starting with promotion, and we're hoping to release them in like 2 months. But I think that's doable because we have all the 3D designers and animators in house, so creating those elements won't be a problem.
And do you have a number for the NFTs, at least for the first set?
No, we haven't really decided on how much. We do want to do pre-mint first, but we still have to decide on how many categories of NFTs we're going to release. Because of course we can do like a lot of weapons, but I think we want to start off slowly.
All right. There's another question for the NFTs, because I know the NFTs are going to interact with the game, right? And I'm assuming the NFTs are going to be like equipment, like items, like swords.
For an
I don't know,
example,
potions,
yeah.
as an example, or something like that you could use. And maybe like some of them, like maybe you have like an in-game version, it's like standard. But if you have an NFT, you get like an upgraded version, like maybe like a bigger area of effect, or I don't know, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
Adam's saying, so for the NFTs, so the gas for the NFTs, is it paid on login or during interaction with the game each time? Because
Yeah. Sorry?
like when you use the NFTs, like in the game, so he's asking for the gas for the NFTs. Will it be paid during like the login period or during the interaction with the game each time? For example, let's say you use the NFT in the game, you're going to have to pay the gas for it, right? So like, how will this work with the NFTs and the game?
Yeah. So,
By the way, you might be seeing double, but they're twins.
Yeah. So as in NFTs are just a kind of a balance, right? Just so like you can have a token, an amount of tokens, and reading that amount doesn't cost any gas fees. So we're just reading if you have that NFT or not. That's how that's gonna work. So he heard half of the question. I heard it as well. So if this question is not completely answered, please ask it again so we can elaborate on it.
Yeah. So this is the guy that's gonna was gonna answer the last question too, right?
Yeah, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this one, so when you use the NFTs, in the game, you're gonna have to interact with the blockchain.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
So how will this work? For example, when you got to pay the gas fees, so would you pay the gas fees, let's say every time you log in and it's going to interact one time, or every time you use them in the game, will you have to pay the gas fees?
Yeah. So for using the NFTs, it's inside the game, right? So not for every so using the NFT won't cost
Any gases.
any gases, because it's just an object in the game. It's just an inventory item. So if you already have it, it won't cost you any gas fees to use. So because you're not, so we're just reading if you have it in your inventory.
You're not interacting with the blockchain itself.
Yeah, you are,
Yeah,
but you're just reading if you have it, so it won't cost any gas fees for that. Does that answer your question?
Okay. So the gas fees is only used when you have to, like, let's say, upgrade, or when you sell it to someone else, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Normally, you don't have to be using it every time.
No.
So basically, you're just kind of like reading that you have it. So maybe it is there under login. Did that answer the questions? Every time you log in, you read what you have. You get all those in game. You get your potions. You get your weapons, and then that's it, right?
Yeah, but that won't cost any gas fees. Just reading, because reading the blockchain doesn't cost.
Okay.
Gases.
Let's see what else is there. There's the first question. I already forgot what it was. Something about about streaming. About streaming. I think that's what we're talking about. How the high cost of streaming, like about let's say 500 gigabyte game to stream 10,000 users will cost roughly about 1 to 2 million per year. So that's actually like real numbers from streaming services. So you guys, basically, it's expensive. That's what we're trying to say. So
of course, it's a large number. It's very expensive, but like if we have in the future that amount of players that could financially support on that side to provide streaming services, we can amplify the game even more and gain more players in general. So yeah, that's basically the goal. The reason why I've explained to you this is because that's what we are thinking about long term, not especially on the pre-alpha or the launch of the game.
Yeah, and also he based the cost on a 500 gigabyte game and 10,000 users. I think in the beginning it will be a lot less, so that might bring down the costs also. But just to be sure, this is like because it's normal to build a game on a PC, and with the European standards, I think most people can play it. But we wanted to find out a way to reach also the poor users without making it like a cheap web game or an Android game or something.
Yeah.
So we're just looking how we can get the best quality for the least requirements of PC.
Okay, so I think some people are still not really sure about like what the reasoning was behind, let's say, going from Unreal to Unity, because if you buy the assets and then you export them, they're not native anymore to Unity, so there's going to be a lot of work you have to tweak, right? But why not just buy assets in Unity in the first place and then work from there, instead of creating it in Unreal and then transport and converting it into Unity? It seems like it's extra work.
I think Jesper wants to elaborate on that by shaking his head.
So creating environments in Real is really much easier to do, but exporting them is not that hard to do. So we have tricks for that to work in Unreal and make the environments in Unreal and then exporting them to Unity, and that's what we're going to do. So,
and we have done till now. So and there was another guy who I said he could ping me. He had the question how we did it. So maybe we can elaborate with him and show him the trick to help him on his game. Feel free to ping me in DM.
And there was another question about installation size and PC and recommended specs. I'm assuming that's still too early, since you guys, very far from
But I think a decent like 260 or a GTX 260 or 360 is pretty like enough. Like if your PC can handle like AAA titles as for now, you surely will be able to handle our game. And of course, within the game, there will be the options to lower the resolution, lower the amount of graphics being loaded, preload, cache, all those kind of things will be like just as a regular game. All the options will be available. So there are some room for like small tweakings for the player itself.
Okay, so by the way, Matt and Adam, are your questions answered, or did I not understand what your questions meant? Because I'm trying to read, the chat while also listening at the same time to figure out like if there's any questions. And
Yeah.
okay, so Gabriel was saying, is there an alpha version to show? Basically, not like a video footage, because you know how like there's basically a lot of negativity surrounding gaming or crypto and gaming currently, because a lot of projects have scammed. They would have like a cheap video or like just use fake assets or free or paid by assets. But I mean, even if you pay $100,000 to get some guy to make Fiverr a game, for example, and if they raise 100K, that's still worth it, right? So there's a lot of negativity surrounding like oh, this is a pre-made game, or this is something you could do in 5 hours, or a demo is one thing, or like a video is one thing, but is there anything like playable that could, not like that we have to see that, like we have to play ourselves like an alpha, but like even showing, let's say like live stream, for example, you guys live stream the game to like the investors, for example, like kind of like a little like, oh, here's me running through the meadows or something like that. This is what we have so far. Things like that. Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah, we have been running through the environment.
Yeah, we should make some content about it. That's actually a good one.
yeah.
Because now we've been just so focused on, we need to get everybody to see how awesome this is. Actually showing what's behind might be a good idea.
Yeah. So
just kind of see where you guys at right now. And I feel like, my question earlier about like keeping that investors here and not like selling and going to the newest shiny thing is because it's going to take a long time for the development. So it's good to be having some kind of updates, like weekly updates, or like showing like live streams. This is what we created this last week. This is kind of like a sneak peek of the missions, or like this is the new land, or this is the new map we're working on.
It's also the first time that they've like asked this in the AMAs. So we haven't really felt the need to like go really into depth and go behind the scenes, because everybody just wants to see, okay, how it's going to look, and we needed to create some hype. But yeah, if there are people actually interested in that, we should do it.
Yeah, because, well, we actually, I get this every single AMA where the devs are like, this is the first time we heard this in an AMA, because we are not like sell-out, ass-kissing type of AMA where we're like, oh yeah, great project, pat on the back, yeah, good job. Like we actually have real investors in here that really, want to get as much information as possible. We have a lot of whales also that like have to feel sure about something before they invest, and that's why we have such a big track record of of like not getting scammed and things like that, because we really dive deep into the actual project itself, into the numbers and all of that. We're not like a typical AMA, so that's like probably what sets us apart from everyone else. And then, we get I'm not kidding, y'all. Every single AMA, they're like, oh yeah, we never had this question before. Or like, this is a good question. We haven't thought about this. And they actually, a lot of times devs learn a lot, because there's a lot of like hints or tips, or like we provide like things to make it better too. It's not just like, AMA, like we provide a lot of advice, basically free consultation in a way, how to make it better, how to make it more sellable for the investors, how to basically convince, investors, whales and small fish alike, this is a good project. You have to make it presentable. It's not just about marketing. It is about marketing, but you have to do the marketing correctly. If you market shit and spend tons of money on it, no one's going to buy it. But if you have a good project, and it'll market itself almost in a way.
Yeah, that's what it has done until now a lot. So
yeah, and like I said, I don't know. Have you guys had an AMA with CLM yet?
I don't think
Coin
so.
Lounge?
No.
Okay, let me just tell you, because you said like we haven't heard this question. Like, let me tell you, I'm not gonna FUD AMAs, but most AMAs are useless. All it is just like 5 guys with 300 bots, like I'm not gonna mention names, but you know who they are. Like they literally have probably less investors than us, and that 90% of the people in VC are bots, or you know, like they're 10 alts, and they charge 10, 15, 20 BNB for an AMA.
Yeah.
And then I even had projects myself where I did AMAs in some of these groups, and like there's not a single buy on the chart. Like it's a good project. I'm like, you guys are idiots for not buying this. I'm literally telling you like all this stuff. They're like, yeah, great project. Nobody buys. It goes 10x after the AMA. Like let's say a month later, and not a single one of them bought. I'm like, what's the point of even going to the AMAs to these groups?
Yeah, and that's also what we've noticed with like the airdrops. You get a lot of attention. Yeah, nice project. Oh, great team. But yeah, we've noticed that now we stop doing those kind of promotions and like focused on doing like more AMAs. Of course, they're not all like quality, but you see more real crypto people dripping in and asking real questions. And now we finally see some movement in the thing. So
those questions you are asking us has like particularly more value than say, okay, good day, sir.
Good project, sir. Very nice.
Yeah, like very nice, man. I like you guys. Let's go ape in, guys. Let's everyone hold hands and like ape in.
Let's go.
Come on. Yeah.
All right, cool. So there's another question. Let's see here. How players will support? Oh, yeah, I think I'm asking your question, man. How players will support financially the game if the game is free to play, paying for extra content. Basically, what they're saying, how will the game be supported? But I feel like it's because maybe there you do need some kind of how the revenue will work. What they're saying, because you know you're going to have the tokens to give away, right? Like for play to earn, but maybe some kind of in-game advertisements or something. Basically, like how will this generate revenue? Because it's a free-to-play game, and if anyone wants to buy something, they could either play the game to earn tokens and buy business, or they could buy money.
Yeah, what we are going to do, we are going to also make like NFTs from our Shinobi, like game items that will go back to the company itself. Rare items, only a couple exist. Battle passes, unlock different areas no one else can go, or getting like the story mode that we are going to create, or the storyline is it's a full story, but we can also deep dive a little bit more and extend it, so you can buy that as well if you really like the series of the game mode as well. So there are a lot of purchases you can make to complete the game, but it's not, you don't really have an advantage regarding to skills. So it's not like pay to win, it's free to play. But you can pay an extra, but also with Shino tokens, to have some extra value to the game. Like
it just makes it easier.
Exactly. Yeah.
So also for the businesses, if you have a business and you get profit from it, we will have percentages, and this will be small. For example, 10% profit that will be going to Shinobi game, for example, for that, and as well, for example, for buying and selling properties, as well as renting them out. All will have small profit shares on to sustain, of course, and get our profit margins in as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there's another question, and I actually asked this question, or we discussed this a lot in the AMAs concerning the fair launches specifically. So the thing with the fair launch, it's good for a long-term project, because especially if you go like 2-3 times or higher of the soft cap, because then it's all going to go to LP, so it keeps the price stable.
Correct.
But it's not good for the degens, because the guys that want 2-3x or whatever, because most of the time it's not going to do any X's, for a long time, because anyone that wants to get in could get in at fair launch, right? So where's the buy pressure after launch? So in a way, fair launches are probably like almost like filtering out all the degens, because only the real investors or the billionaire project want to participate. And then, but the thing is also, everyone that wants to get in can get in. So the buy pressure is going to be hard to actually get buy pressure after launch. So a lot of times what could happen is there could be a dump, because there's not enough buy pressure. People that are, some people get impatient. Like I said earlier, especially if the game's going to take a while, how do you keep the investors in? How to keep them happy from dumping? And let me tell you, like, it's easy to hold a project or be a diamond hander, when you're making money, right? When even just because it looks on your screen that you're making like $1,000 or 2x or whatever, you're happy, you're holding. But when you see the chart going down and down, and all of a sudden you're losing more and more, that's when people have shaky hands, and they're like, oh man, I don't know. They get stressed out. It's really hard to keep the investors in if price dips below their entry point, and that's why in trading, why supply and demand, why support lines, resistance lines, why they work. They work because of the emotions, and and the reason like a support line is there because there's a lot of buyers waiting at that price, right? And resistance line is there like when you do day trading or long-term trading. The resistance is there is because there's a lot of sellers because that's probably where they bought, and now they're down and they're just waiting to break even just to get out. And this is in stocks and forex and crypto and all trading. The main thing is support and resistance, supply and demand. So in a project, let's say with a fair launch, everyone gets in a certain price. If it drops below that price, people start panicking, right? Like all the investors are. It's and that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, like the project could go trade below, even 70-80% below, until it gets closer to the the game being released, and then it'll pump, it'll go 100x. But meanwhile, it maybe there's going to be a dip, especially with the fair launch, because like I said, unless you have some kind of crazy marketing plans where you bring a lot of buyers in after launch. So basically, people don't know about this project and they only know about it after launch. But everyone that knows about it now, right? If they wanted to buy, they could probably buy at fair launch. You know what I mean? Or they're probably thinking like me, and they're like, well, maybe I shouldn't buy a fair launch. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe like 2 days later it's going to dip because some guys are going to be impatient and sell. So this is kind of the question: how to avoid the dump, knowing that fair launch projects start and ends with a huge dump when there's no hard cap. I'm not saying that's true. That's what they wrote, but it does happen sometimes because it's all about the buy pressure, right? It's all about the balance between buy pressure and sell pressure. And fair launches tend to be more like a long-term thing where you might not see the X's, and then people who are impatient, they're going to sell, and that's going to cause a little bit of a dump.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that this project is fairly focused on long term, and we cannot prevent a dump. Nobody can prevent, no matter what kind of strategy you have. But we have a strategy laying around regarding to the marketing, regarding, of course, to the development, because we can amplify the marketing with the development, so we can show exactly what's going on. We also have decided to keep everyone updated every day, like with posts, like our moderators, everyone, like we welcome everybody, so that's also great. And more likely focusing on like the investors is great, and that's also the reason why we have chosen for DeFi instead of a 6-figure billboard and Times Square, for an example, like offline marketing, because we can have like the information gathered from the investors, and that's also what we are going to do eventually and still doing as well. So collecting data from investors throughout AMAs like this, we get a lot of value out of it to improve our product even better, and to make something very wonderful. And what I've explained to you also earlier, that we have hired an advisor. She's called Gemma. She's just been amazing, and regarding to the tokenomics, she's creating a very nice use case regarding to the tokenomics of the launch with staking and farming, for an example, and all the utilities they came up with. And yeah, of course, a wonderful project doesn't grow overnight. Investors have to understand it as well, and of course, we do not give financial advice, and if they want to sell, they sell. But hopefully, it will not harm like the beauty of the product itself, and it will eventually sell itself as well in the future. That's what I believe.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's see if there's any more questions, guys. Because something about if you buy in game, you beat guys with less investment, more money spent, bigger guns. I guess in a way, this is how like bringing Grand Theft Auto or other games, if you have the cash, it's not really pay to earn, but it's more like pay to save time. You get the
Yeah.
better guns, better equipment quicker. So in a way, it is almost like an advantage because someone could go in and buy like the NFTs that gives them an advantage without really, grinding for 20 hours. While the
Yeah.
free to play guy is gonna have
It's
to
more
get
like flexing.
Yeah, but also that's why we brought the bounties in the game. If you are like on a killing spree and you're killing a lot of people, making a lot of money, there will also be like an automatical, just like in GTA, bounty set on your head. So it will also be more attractive to people to kill you. So by that, you're leveling it a bit out. And also we were thinking about doing seasons where you get like, not like a really clean start, but like things get leveled out a bit and then you can start over again.
Yeah, and also items you can't get by just paying, but only by playing and getting the XP. So if you don't play, you don't get the XP and you don't get the season items. Yeah, you don't get the opportunity, for example, by several things and participate in several, for example, buy rounds, etc., which will all be done within the game and can be tracked from there.
Yeah.
And you can make it like kind of like EVE Online or EVE Echoes, where if you die, you lose all your shit. But there's another game like I forgot, it's like an RPG game where every time you get killed, you lose your stuff. So it's like if you have good weapons and items, then you're kind of overpowered. But you're risking everything. People could jump and gang up on you and kill you.
Yeah, that's how it works, but not like most of the time. Of course, if you want to go on a PvP area, you have to agree first. Okay, you are entering an area. There is a chance of losing everything. So we will people are aware what's going on and whatever they want. So there are also like safe zones, so you can stand just outside, nothing happen with you. Just the normal sides and in the PvP area. Like there are so many ways of avoiding losing everything, and it really determines where you keep your stuff, like in a safe or in your inventory, or like you know what I mean.
So you can buy houses, plots, etc., to store your stuff, where people, and when you die, you don't lose it, but you can get it back after you respawn. And of course, if you have some kind of you leave, you lose what you have right there, and that's what we were going to do with cash and tokens on your bank.
You should just drop all your tokens. Like that'd be a good one. Drop all your tokens if you die.
No, not all your tokens, but what you have cash in your inventory, which will go to the people that that have killed you. Same for the bounty. The bounty will go to someone that has killed you. So if you kill someone with a high bounty, the bounty, of course, you receive is pretty high, but it will up your own bounty as well. Yeah.
Also, a thing I want to touch on, Agro also asked a question about this before, and now he had to leave, so he left his opinion about the fake numbers we have on social media. I do want to explain that we haven't bought any followers. Like I explained before, we attracted some like I don't know how to call them. They're not fake profiles, but just made for like a contest or something like that. So that's why our activity doesn't really match our followers, but we haven't like intentionally bought any fake followers. So that's what I wanted to touch on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, plus you guys have been working on this game or this project a long time, right? And correct. I feel like I seen the patterns where months ago, like last year, when it was full bull market, that's like everyone was doing. They had inflated telegrams. They had like 50,000, 100,000 members in their telegrams, and of course they were all mostly botted. And now, like most of the AMAs we do get, like they usually have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 members, and they're like pretty much mostly organic, I would say. I mean, obviously I didn't like investigate, and like all these guys have 1,000 fake guys in there. But the numbers were fairly like reasonable. But I think but then I did notice that a lot of the projects that are older, that have been around for a while, they still did tend to have higher numbers. Mainly probably because they did start the Telegram back in those days when that's what everyone was doing. So it kind of makes sense to me. And like the newer projects, they don't tend to do that. buying anymore, because investors kind of learn, like, yeah, just because someone has 20,000 members in TG doesn't mean it's actually good.
Doesn't mean anything.
It's almost like a negative, actually, at this point. It's like,
Yeah.
the more followers you have, oh yeah, these guys are faking it, So it's almost like, better not to do it than actually do it. Well, previously in the day of meme tokens, it's like, oh, the more followers they have, the more VC they have. That's more hype,
Yeah, we've also noticed that with like the influencers we work with. We've been approached by accounts with like 1 million followers and 500K followers, and that used to be huge. And now we just see their activity is just like shit, and it's easy to fake these days. So if they might investigate further, they will also see maybe some spikes in our growth of followers, but that's just also from the airdrops and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And let me tell you, like, a lot of these big guys in here, like the AMAs, the groups that have, like 300 members in AMAs, or 500, or 100,000 followers on Twitter, they were the first botted. They were the ones that were in early, and they botted their accounts. And back in the day, when you have more followers, the real people tend to follow. They look at the numbers like, oh, why am I going to follow this guy with 300 in his group? Well, this one has 30,000. This guy must.
But now they have algorithms.
Yeah. So a lot of these influencers or AMA lounges that were early and they bought their accounts, now they're charging 20 BNBs or whatever for an AMA, but they're not necessarily any better, or especially bang for your buck. Never. Like, if you're going to spend 20 BNBs, it's better to have 10 AMAs with smaller lounges that charge 2 BNB each than one, big one that charges 20 and it's just fully botted.
Correct. Yeah, we've noted that we've done AMAs in groups with like 100,000 followers and not get like maybe 100 added members to our own community. So
not even 100.
No,
maybe 10.
So you learn fast from those kind of things.
We could beat 10. Come on. Okay, let me go. Let me make a post. Okay, by the way, guys, any more questions? I'm gonna mute myself for a minute. I'm gonna make a little pin post for you.
Okay, great.
Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, I got a quick question. After all, so he was talking about asking you guys about the marketing and stuff like that. And
Correct.
I really didn't hear a definitive or solid answer. And I understand too, a lot of developers that are launching right now, say, well, the market. But I've been in several projects right now with new launches, a week old and stuff, and has not experienced a true dip because they have a solid plan in marketing. They have whale buyers lined up on the sidelines, ready to come in every single day. So I'm looking for a definitive answer on what your marketing strategy truly is.
Well, I wish I could just lay it out. We do have some influencers lined up, also some big buyers, but we do need to how do you say it? Overleggen. Discuss. I'm sorry. When they're gonna buy and when is the best time, because we do want to get some buy pressure just after launch. So those are the plans we have. Also, we're talking to a lot of partners. Wester is the first one that we officially confirmed, but we do have some other games who want to collab, do a crossover between our game and their game. Also some gaming associated companies that want to partner up, and I think those are all big news releases that we can use to get more buy pressure.
Is there some kind of incentives you guys could do, for example, for holders? Let's say you buy now, or you're holding for the month or two till the NFTs come out, and that way you give them the whitelist for NFTs. I mean, I have
totally.
You guys need ideas for how to keep the holders, we could talk about this later. But
we now have a buy contest, but we will have a holding contest.
Yeah, because I do feel like you guys need something, because it's still gonna be a while before the utility is realized, and and then we're in this space, especially in this bear market, people panic real quick. And like I said, it's a lot harder to be diamond hander or a holder when you're negative than if you're positive, right? If you're like 5x up, you're gonna be like, I'm not even gonna look at the chart. I'm just gonna forget about this. Look at it 3-4 months later. But if you're like losing, like 30% drop, next day 40% drop, 50% drop, people are gonna panic and they're like, they're gonna like, take out
Yeah, I
their.
think also the staking will help a bit.
Yeah, so you do have staking coming out because I did not
Yeah,
see any staking wallet or any reserved for staking.
No, we do still have to discuss like what percentage the APY will be and that kind of stuff, but we are planning on implementing the staking.
Is that going to take, how long is the staking going to take? Is it going to be like a month or weeks? Like you have a time period for this?
As soon as possible.
Yeah, I have some feedback, by the way. Maybe someone has their microphone open. But
I'm not hearing it. But
okay, yeah, now it's gone. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, so you could use basically. I don't see a staking or any tokens reserved for staking, but so I'm thinking, you need to do it from the reserve.
Yeah, we probably going to take from company reserve.
And this can be fetched from fees as well. So this can be filled. This wallets can be filled by fees as well. So there's not a problem.
Yeah, and this is a good comment by someone in chat, and this is kind of what we've been discussing actually for the last 30 minutes or so. That too many projects promise games and this and that, and which never comes to fruition. Like, not to say you guys won't fulfill your roadmap, but you must have something tangible post-launch. And that's kind of what we're talking about. It's very important to have something for the investors because, like I said, there's so many games, have all these promises, and then you find out that they just use some kind of Fiverr guy to make bought a video for like $100.
Yeah. So based on that, I think we are going to work on something we can't show in the following days. To just give you guys a feel of where we are currently at in development and get you a good look at that. Because of course, I think looking at it now, thinking that we only published game trailers in terms of that could have been realized quite easily. I think we really have to come up with such a post real quick for you guys to get a feel of where we are right now, and maybe playing a live stream next to it to just show everything.
Give some confidence.
Correct. Because we can't show it, and we just haven't done it.
Yeah, I think that'd definitely be a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, no problem.
So now,
that'll be an extra 20 BNB, by the way, for the package.
You were one of the expensive ones.
Anyway, guys, we could end the AMA unless you have anything else. You want to do like the conclusion, and we'll do, giveaway.
If you guys have any other tips or questions, please drop them in a group. We're very happy to answer them or to hear your tips. If they are very welcome. What else do I have to add?
I think this AMA was one of the most valuable moments.
It was a hard one, but that's good.
It was actually pretty great.
Yeah,
you let us think again.
We've been hearing a little bit of too much of pats on the back, and
and some like same as goes. I hear a lot of feedback, by the way.
Yeah,
so I think
now it's gone.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
With all the extra BNB, because you guys did like 1K over of your, hard cap of BNB on the pre-sale, with up to, I say, 1123 holders, almost 1200 holders. What is the extra BNB going to be used for, which could definitely help when you guys launch to prevent a dump?
Everything will be provided to liquidity. There is no hard cap. There was only a soft cap of 300 BNB. So percentage wise, it's still increasing whenever someone is investing. So if someone is investing right now on Pink, so the number of percentage will go up regarding towards the liquidity pool.
Yeah.
So there's a max owner receive of 550 BNB, and the remaining part, the cliff over, but we have to calculate it. We cannot calculate right now because the numbers are constantly changing.
Increasing.
Yeah.
In a good way.
But the remaining part we will get over a week.
All right, thank you
After
for answering
reclaim
my
the pool.
question. And I hope you guys really do think about all these questions that are being asked
Yeah.
at this AMA, because it definitely seems like you guys are not fully prepared what's gonna be coming you guys' way. And I do wish you guys the best. I definitely brought in the pink cell and stuff, but I do have my reserve, opinions about some things.
For sure. Yeah.
So please come correct.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Cool.
Thank you.
Was very helpful, guys.
And just to mention, we also have some contests lined up right now. We still do have the Snapchat filter contest. We've created 2 filters that are implemented on the body, and also an AR filter where you can place a Shinobi everywhere you want. You can join the contest via Twitter. We also have a buy contest, and
more like a buy party.
Buy party, yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. And honestly, I appreciate you guys actually being on camera. And, so I didn't even ask this question, but I feel like it didn't really need to be asked. So you guys are fully doxxed?
Yeah. You can follow us on LinkedIn, though.
Yeah, because you have, you're on camera, you have your registration, right? So you guys are not anonymous. There's no, hidden owner that's pulling the strings that's going to be, a lot of times you have projects where you have a docs team and then it gets rugged and they're like, oh yeah, it's some guy that we didn't really know. He was the owner or he's the contract developer. Sorry,
some
guys.
Some dark figure in the back.
No, that isn't the case. No.
Cool, thank you. And if you want to do summary conclusion, and then after that I'll end the recording, so we'll have the recording and everything prepared. And then after that, we'll be doing the giveaway, and it'll be more like just an open-ended discussion. You guys are free to leave. The AMA will be over, but if you wanted to stick around for a couple more minutes while we do the giveaway, and maybe someone else has any more questions, we could do that. So you guys want to go ahead and do the final conclusion?
Yeah. There was actually a pretty wonderful AMA. We have learned a lot, so we really taking it into account. You guys' feedback. We are surely going to read over the chat as well after this AMA, so we can write a conclusion and take it in a meeting and make something out of it. We sure do, and we'll sure update. And this is also what we are going to communicate towards our own community, that they have to watch this AMA, the recording, because it contains so much value. But regarding to Shinobiverse, it's Shinobiverse, the one of the first play to earn open world role playing game, delivering AAA graphics, and with the potential and the ambition to go even to consoles, partnerships with other projects such as that are already launched, like let's say on Steam. We really take into account that everybody has to earn, everybody has to profit out of this, investor wise, and also regarding to its players. And the team is just wonderful. We have been creating, I believe, and I'm pretty sure we have been pulling something pretty amazing already with a fairly short amount of time. And only great stuff are going to happen in the future, and we sure do see a bright future in that.
Yeah. And you guys are more than welcome to join our community also and ask your questions there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're spare with some questions still, join the community and we'll be around answering them by text.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are hosting once a week also on VC and like voice chat in our own community.
Yeah, so you can help in as well then.
Yep, awesome. So, honestly, this, I like the project, and I like the concept, but there are a couple things that we discussed, that could be made, better for sure, and especially with for investors and also for the long-term holders and what's going to happen after launch. Got to plan ahead, got to make sure that You know, like, because that's the thing, you know, like when devs go and say, oh, we have paper hands, blame it on paper hands, the chart is dumping. In reality, it's not really paper hands, or it's the devs that make paper hands, you know, like, because you have to give investors a reason to hold, right? Like if they lose the trust in the project, they're gonna dump. But if they think the price is gonna be higher then they will hold. Right? That's just kind of simple economics, simple trading. So I mean, I'm a paper hand in a lot of projects because I think it's shit. You know, I want to get my 2x and I'm out. But I'm also a diamond hand in a lot of projects. There's projects I've been holding for a year. I haven't sold a single token. You know, even though like a lot of times, here's the thing I actually recommend for like the communities that you like. You want to be active in those communities, like the AMAs you hold, like for example here, because when you have investors and holders in a community like ours, and the devs come in and they give us updates, you know, they always say hi, you know, like, oh, we're working on a new platform, we're doing this, we're doing that. We actually see that the developers are hard at work, because a lot of times we don't have time to go into 100 telegrams where we have tokens and keep up to date and everything, right? But if the developer just goes in and gives us a little update, oh, we have a competition, oh, we did this, we're launching our version 2.0 platform next week. That kind of shows us that they're hardworking and they care about their investors, and that's what makes us be the diamond hands, right? But if they never show up again and then they chart dumps and they blame it on paper hands, like that doesn't make me want to hold it either, you know?
Yeah, we have to give them the incentive of what we're doing, and give them the incentive of holding.
Yes. Especially after the money is there, you know, after you take the money, because it's like sometimes they kiss your ass, like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to be the greatest project ever. As soon as they have the money, as soon as pre-sale is over, they disappear for a week, and then they blame it on, you know, paper hands for the dump.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We have a lot lined up. We'll get this structured and have it followed in updates for you guys to follow it all. And if you join our Telegram, you will see it yourself.
Yeah, and we're going to take a short break after this AMA. So if you have any questions, please ask them via the chat so we can answer them like on our phones while we're eating something. And
it has been a long day, like at least 6 hours of AMAs and interviews.
Sorry guys, this is like a really long AMA. Like
no worries. Love. But thank you guys all for joining, and we hope to talk to you more often.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, thanks guys. We're signing out the official recording right now. So yeah, see ya at your Telegram, and good luck with the rest of the pre-sale.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.